It is December 19th, 2016. We're here at 8007 Pasadena Avenue in La Mesa, California, 91941. We're going to go ahead and inspect the main sewer lines for the property. We're here on the corner of the house, and we have our 2-inch vent. It should lead directly down into the beginning of the sewer main, which we could see in the crawl space. There are a couple 90-degree turns, it looks like, here on the system for the way they had to run the venting. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and pause the video for a second to take off one of our centering guides off our camera head to make it easier to make these turns we have to make. Okay, we've taken off one of our centering guides to see if we can maneuver through these 90s. So we're in a horizontal line right now, running through the attic essentially. Here's another 90, and hopefully the rest of this run is completely vertical. Go right into the sewer main. Cobwebs here. We'll be able to clean that off once we get into the main sewer with the water. Okay, it looks like we may be in the line. We're going to go ahead and pause the video and flush the camera with some water. Okay, so we cleaned off our camera face, so we're now in the horizontal sewer pipe here. See, there's a little bit of water on the bottom of the pipe from where the toilet empties in, as well as the kitchen line right here. Okay, we're now in the crawl space. This is where we can see there's the transition to cast iron. And we can see on the bottom of the pipe, you can see that heavy scale and buildup that's all along the bottom. These little mounds of heavy little debris hills that are packing the bottom of the pipe. And then on the right side of the screen, you can see how there's a little mound on the sidewall with little areas that's kind of flaking upward and outward. And so we can see that since the pipe is suspended in the crawl space, that it is also starting to fail. Because of this, essentially these are the cast iron pipes starting to swell and rust and corrode. We can see little areas and pockets of bulbous material that's acting like stalagmites hanging off the back end of the pipe on the exterior walls where moisture is wanting and starting to leak through because the pipe is failing. So we expected to see this on the inside, all this little heavy buildup that you can see here. So all these little mounds, this is the pipe rusting and corroding and kind of just falling apart. So you can see we're moving up and down these undulations on the camera inspection here. And so from the crawl space, we can see that this is starting to flare all the way to the outside of the pipe. And so the pipe is definitely at the end of its life. It's not leaking right now. It can still function. We don't know how long, so it is recommended, obviously, to start the replacement process because it's not very difficult in the open crawl space where no digging is required. So again, you can see all these up and down and these little mounds and undulations inside the pipe. All that scale and deposit and buildup here is essentially eating away at the walls of the pipe. It's just steel pipe, so it's rusting and corroding away. All this heavy buildup here. And you can see here is another example of how much buildup is in the pipe. The pipe is kind of flat on the bottom. So you can see on the top and side walls, the pipe is nice and curved and rounded. It's obviously a circular pipe. But the bottom has so much gunk and buildup that it's actually flattened out. And we're riding along a flat, bottomed out surface, which is reducing the inside diameter of the pipe. And then all that buildup is going to chew and eat at the bottom of the pipe. And then we're also having a little bit of difficulty moving our camera by here because, again, this is a 3-inch pipe, and essentially the surface area is being restricted. It's like a clogged artery. So it's very heavy through here, extremely heavy. It's actually holding up our entire camera here, and this is a small camera, 1 inch in diameter. So we're going to go ahead and pause the video for a second, see if running some water down the line can assist in getting this moved all the way across. But we already know that this does need to be replaced, but we're going to try to get to the T-junction where the other bathroom is that we're going to camera from there. Okay, we've got a little bit of water running. We're going to see if this can get us through these rough pockets here. Okay, so we've gotten through that area, and you can see our camera's kind of underwater. Okay, we've got a huge blockage of paper debris right here on the system. So we have a couple alignment issues we noticed in the crawl space with a T-junction that was put in for the laundry. They have a sump pump system for the laundry, and they cut into the cast iron and added a small section of ABS with the T for it to dump into. And you can actually see with the fern codes that they used, the pipe is kind of slightly askew and off from each other. And so what we're seeing here is I can almost see right after that, over the top of that, that looks like the spot where it's connecting into the plastic. And so we've got all this material that's backed up inside the line here, so it's actually almost completely, fully blocked. Liquid can get by, but as you can see, there's a complete stoppage of paper and stuff that's debris that's mounded up in the line. We'll take a photo of that. So this line already needs to be replaced, and now we can see you've got pretty much almost 100% blockage in the line with all that debris. Now whether that's construction debris or just paper and other stuff that's folded and mounted up because it's again being held up and not going down the pipe because of the clogged line with the buildup, and then the misaligned pipes they're coming up right after this. So we're going to go ahead and have to go ahead and stop the video, and we're going to go ahead and go from the other bathroom. Okay, so we've now moved with the different camera setup over there on the roof where you're looking at all those 3 vents protruding through the rooftop. That's above the bathroom where we went for the previous inspection. We're now over here over the master bath suite here that faces the backyard exactly here. And we're going to go down this original 2-inch cast iron vent. Hopefully this leads a direct vertical shot into the bathroom toilet we could see from the crawl space for this line. Okay, we're into this sewer here. There was a little bit of buildup when we came back here in this cast iron. We're going to go ahead and pull back just a little bit and then flush the toilet there just to clean up this image and see if it's any loose debris or some heavy debris. So we're going to pause the video for a second. Okay, we flushed out that toilet so we can see the little bit of debris we saw earlier is somewhat flushed out of the line there. So this is a 3-inch cast iron pipe as well. You can see there's a bunch of debris in the system here. Some of that look like actually construction debris. Some of it's the flakes of the cast iron. So here as well you can see that the cast iron is failing, and that is the wall of the pipe, thin flakes of it rusting and peeling off from the side walls of the line here. So this cast iron definitely under the house needs to be changed out here. You can see in the upper right side of the screen it's kind of swelling a little bit above and below that white buildup, and then there's a little black little crack fissure line, and again that's just due to the age of the cast iron in the house. So we're now going down this cast iron line here. We're still in the crawl space. And eventually this line is going to T-junction into the other line we just cameraed, but we got stopped pushing all the way to the T, which was about 10 feet away, maybe 12 feet away from where they were going to come together. So same thing, the pipe has got a lot of little walls of buildup you can see. So we're traveling in a little channel in the middle, and on the right and left side you can see all that little gunk that's starting to flare and flake and swell because it's just aged old cast iron pipe that's at the end of its life cycle. Okay, here's our turn and our transition. So here's where we go ahead and we drop down, and this was just past all our T-junctions where we made all these turns here. This is all still visible in the crawl space, and then right here this should be our last 4-inch combo turn. We've now transitioned into 4-inch pipe, and then this line looked like it was running away from the foundation wall of the house to go through it or under it. Okay, here we've got another turn on the line right here. So we suspect that this could be just outside the foundation wall of the house now, getting ready to run down the hillside. We're on a vertical drop right here after this turn. This is a horizontal line. Here we make a 90-degree turn, and then it has another little drop, and then dumps into another T-fitting. We do have a bathroom that is down in this kind of office den area. This could be the junction that's picking up that other bathroom. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and run a little bit of water down the line. We've made a lot of twists and turns right now, and we're not going to be able to push farther down the line unless we can find another clean out or get some water moving through the system. So we're going to pause the video. Okay, we've got a bunch of water running right now, so we're going to see if this can help us move down. It doesn't look like it because of the amount of 90-degree turns we made in quick succession of each other. So we have one other toilet vent on the rooftop here for the hall bathroom and the upstairs, and that is directly over the bathroom that is downstairs in the den or other work area. So we're going to pause the video while we pull back to go ahead and go from that vent to see if we can continue down the race to the main line to the street from there. Okay, so we moved over to this other vent, and this again should be hopefully leading vertically and directly down with no turns into the sewer main. This is the bathroom vent, again for the hall bathroom, and then the toilet and bathroom is directly above that one. It looks like we may have a little hiccup or turn in the line. We're going to pull back the camera to quickly clear away the cobwebs and debris that's covering up our angle view here. Okay, we'll go back down. Okay, there is unfortunately a 90-degree turn here. So this vent makes a turn to run horizontal and then makes another 90, which we're still going across right now. So we're not going to be able to push our camera through this specific area. So we're going to have to go ahead and pause the video and pull back to see if we can find a clean out on the side of the property. Okay, we're now on the side of the house, and here we have located two cleanouts that somebody added. These are black ABS, not original to the house. Here's the second one right here. These crisscross each other, these double suite cleanouts. So this is the side of the house that we couldn't get across and come down the line. So we're going to actually be pushing back up right now. So here's the little lip where it converts back to cast iron pipe. I'll jump over that. So this is the 4-inch cast iron pipe that's running along the outside of the house, just about 2 feet away from the foundation wall, under the concrete walkway and steps for this side. So this is 4-inch compared to the 3-inch we had under the house. So you can see this is a lot more wide open, and with a little bit of scale and build-up on the line, it doesn't aggravate or is going to cause too many problems here. We have to do a little bit of mounds of build-up, as you can see right there, but again, not as severe as the 3-inch we saw under the house. Here's a transition to another piece of pipe there. That was a coupling joint. cast iron still looks good here on this 4-inch. And looks like we're coming up. Yeah, here's our Y junction. So this is where everything comes in from the house. And as we push forward here, this is from outside where we ended up. So right here is where we couldn't make all those little twists and turns. So you can see there's some scale and buildup on the line, and looks like we've got a little bit of roots growing in right there at this junction here. That may have been what was also holding up our camera previously. So we're going to take a quick photo of that, and we're now going to go ahead and pause the video to locate where this is at, if it's right on the edge of the house or out away from it. Okay, we've gone ahead and located this spot in the line, so you can see these little small fine roots growing around the hub of where two pieces of pipe are joined. This is outside of the house, about a foot, just 15 inches away from the wall. It's 2 feet 6 inches deep, so 2.5 feet deep. We did mark it with a green paint dot. It is right next to where a water supply line is coming out of the concrete walkway and then going in through the side wall to get into the crawl space or come out, vice versa. We're going to go ahead and just push by this little area here, and so you can see that's a turn on the line here. So this is the spot where we had stopped previously with our other camera. So this is making the turn to go back into the crawl space of the house. So you can see again these roots growing and intruding here at this junction. So because it's right at the turn going in, to do this repair you would have to open up the concrete outside where we've painted it, and then you'd have to also go ahead and dig at the turn and junctions that are in the crawl space and dig away from that foundation wall as it passes through that to get at this, because this is going to be fittings, not just a straight piece of pipe. So we're now going to go ahead and pause the video, pull back our camera, and go from the other clean out. Okay, so we just pulled out our cord. Our distance counter shows about 33 feet because we didn't push it back into the reel. We have to go back down the hillside. So as we come away from that clean out, past right in front of the gas meter here, this is the other clean out, and this will sweep away from the house. This is the transition right back into the cast iron pipe, just like we had previously. So somebody added this cleanouts in. So we're now traveling down 4-inch original cast iron pipe, just about, again, about 2 feet away from the house, running straight down the hillside towards the street. Little pockets of buildup and scale and deposits, but again, nothing overly severe so far on this 4-inch. Eventually, it may need to be hydrojetted if these little mounds get a little bit bigger, but we're going down the hillside probably at a pretty good angle, so everything should flow down pretty well. Okay, looks like we've got a turn on the line right here. And then another quick turn. Still off 4-inch pipe. Okay, this is clay pipe. So you can see the orange reddish in color. And here you can see roots intruding in the line. And we've got some buildup of paper and feces and other debris, but there's all the little roots and debris. We'll take a photo of this. So you can see it's blocking approximately, when we back up, about almost 75% of the line. We're going to go ahead and push forward up to the intrusion and then pause the video while we locate this on the hillside. Okay, we've gone ahead and located this root intrusion. It actually is in the street which is still the homeowner's responsibility. It is in a 4-inch clay pipe. It is 1 feet 8 inches deep, so it's 20 inches deep. We've got it marked with a red circle X with a line through it denoting the path of the pipe, and an R for roots. It's about a foot after the curb. So if there was not a hillside next to it, we could typically dig under and undermine the little bit of the street that it's just barely under to repair this. But unfortunately, there's a steep hillside, so we're not going to be able to do that without interfering with city property, which becomes very complicated. So it's going to be easier to probably hydrojet and maintain this line with a foaming chemical treatment. We're not going to go and push by there, see if there are any other root intrusions or any other issues. Got a little bit of debris in our camera face there. So here's the trail of roots growing off of that intrusion. Continue down the line. Here's our next coupling, and you can see there are roots intruding here as well. Take a photo of this. That one's somewhat smaller, but is going to continue to grow. Okay, here we've got a little bit of debris in the line that's holding up some water. And then here we have another large intrusion on the line. You can see a lot of the debris that's catching on that. Some of that could be construction debris, some of it's flushed down the toilet. So this is our third root intrusion. This one, as you can see, again, is holding stuff up and is bigger than the second. There's a little trail of it. Here's our fourth intrusion on the line. Unfortunately, clay pipe has short pieces of pipe. It's only made in 3 to 4 feet distances, so that's why there'll be these intrusions, because there's essentially coupling or joints every few feet, unlike steel pipe, copper pipe, and plastic pipe. So that's the fourth intrusion. Very large there, you can see. And here's where we're now dumping into plastic PVC pipe. And here's our T-junction and emptying into the large line for the city there. So this is running in the street for all the other neighbors. They're sharing the line here. So again, the homeowner is responsible for the entire sewer main, up including the T-junction that we just looked at. So we're going to go ahead and pull back to the last root intrusion, and then we'll go ahead and locate and mark those out in the street, just denoting all 4 with a paint mark. So here's our big number 4. So we're going to go ahead and pause the video. Okay, so we've located all these root intrusions in the street. Again, there's 4 of them. They're all marked out with circle green X's through them with the letter R insignia next to it. They are in the city street, so it's not going to be able to really be repaired. It's going to be recommended to do a hydrojetting to rip and tear out all the roots, and then do a foaming chemical treatment every 9 to 10 months, which the homeowner can do themselves by purchasing the product over the counter at a hardware store, or they can have a plumber come do it. So that concludes this recording.